Hi, good morning, Internet. I'm Christiane Cordero, and this is the 734 from WCCO. As you head out the door, we're bringing you another good news day from the weather department. All of you damaged Minnesota souls say it is too early to declare spring, and fine. The least we can do is live in the moment. 42 degrees is what we're topping out this afternoon. Above average, mostly sunny. Kind of a nice day to do just about anything, really. Clouds increase later tonight, dropping down to 39 degrees. All right, now let's talk about this. It's now Joe Biden versus Bernie Sanders in the race for the Democratic nomination. Joe Biden was the big winner on Super Tuesday. He cleaned up, won 9 states, including big prizes in Texas, Virginia, right here in Minnesota. Bernie Sanders won 4 states. No one else was close, though. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren came in 3rd place in her home state. And Michael Bloomberg won in American Samoa, and that is it. So now that Biden and Sanders have solidified themselves at the top, is it time for Warren and Bloomberg to drop out? If you're one of the 180,000 or so Minnesotans who voted for either of them, why should they stay? Do you think they should stay? Do you think they should not? Those watching on Facebook, leave a comment right here. We'll get through a few of those in just a moment. Sticking with the theme, though, Biden's win in Minnesota was pretty surprising. It was also convincing, with 39%, as you can see here. Bernie Sanders finished second at 30%. Elizabeth Warren had 15%. Did Amy Klobuchar's last-minute endorsement for Joe Biden make a difference? We'll ask the former vice president, and he will say, of course.
That's why I was so proud yesterday being embraced by Amy Klobuchar. We won Minnesota because of Amy Klobuchar.
On Twitter last night, Senator Amy Klobuchar congratulated Joe Biden on a great night, including his victory in Minnesota. And sources tell CBS News that Biden called Klobuchar last night to thank her for her help and endorsement in winning Minnesota. Now, here's how the state's delegates were awarded. Joe Biden collects 38. Bernie Sanders gets 26. Elizabeth Warren gets 10. We're still waiting on results from Maine and California. CBS News calls Maine a toss-up right now, while Sanders has the lead in California. California, by the way, has the most delegates at 415, so there is still a whole lot up for grabs there. As for the overall delegate count, Biden's leading at 453 delegates as of this morning. Sanders has 382. It takes 1,991 to win the nomination, so still plenty to go in this race. It was an uncontested race on the Republican side. President Donald Trump is the primary winner in Minnesota. Less than a week away from the next set of primaries. 5 states will vote on Tuesday. Our neighbors in North Dakota will caucus. Now, people in Tennessee had a whole lot more on their minds than the primary results. Dozens of people are still missing in Nashville and around Nashville after deadly tornadoes just devastated homes and businesses. That damage is just so incredible. Search and rescue teams are sifting through debris looking for victims. At least 24 people were killed when at least 2 tornadoes hit early Tuesday morning. The storms shredded dozens of homes and buildings. President Trump plans to visit the state on Friday. The Minnesota Wild played the Preds last night and announced that they're helping with recovery efforts after those deadly tornadoes in Nashville. The team and owner announced a donation of $50,000 to the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee. The NHL then said that it would match the donation to help support storm relief efforts. Very cool there to see stuff happen bigger than sports. All right, now to the latest of the coronavirus. We've just learned that Italy is taking drastic measures to contain an outbreak there. The government ordered schools closed nationwide through mid-March. Washington State is reporting more deaths from the virus. There are now 9 deaths in the U.S. Researchers believe the virus circulated undetected in the Seattle area for weeks. We've also learned an Amazon employee in Washington State tested positive for the coronavirus. 8 Minnesotans have also been tested for the virus. All have been negative. Officials say our state is now capable of testing 800 patients for the virus. Confirmation would still have to come from the CDC. Health officials have said that it's likely coronavirus will make its way to Minnesota. The union that represents airport catering workers at MSP says its workers are always diligent about hygiene and safe food prep, but says that they're being extra cautious right now. They have some concerns that their work could be impacted if fewer people decide to fly over coronavirus concerns.
In some cases, it's not just about safety, but also about perhaps business tapering off. And so what happens when folks might be working shorter hours and those kind of concerns as well.
The Minnesota Department of Health is asking doctors to test all respiratory diseases if someone is sick, not just for coronavirus. Economic impacts are hitting too. The world's most famous museum is closed this morning. The Louvre in Paris did not open as scheduled today over concerns from its workers about catching the coronavirus. Several hundred people lined up outside only to be turned away. The museum has been closed since Sunday over those virus fears. Wall Street's turbulent ride continues. Every major index was down yesterday. The Dow fell 785 points. An emergency interest rate cut by the Federal Reserve failed to calm investor fears over the coronavirus. It is the first emergency cut since the 2008 financial crisis, but new this morning, Joe Biden's Super Tuesday victories may have given Wall Street a jump this morning. The Dow futures are up more than 700 points. Amazon is making delivery even faster for some customers. Order something by midnight, get it by 8 a.m. Right now, it's only for Prime members in Philadelphia, Phoenix, Orlando, Dallas. But we'll certainly keep an eye on that. I'm sure procrastinators would be thrilled to hear it come here to Minnesota. All right, today's the boys state hockey tournament. It begins at the X with Class A play. Mankato East Loyola kicks things off against St. Cloud Cathedral at 11. Then Monticello, Hermantown, Hutchinson, War Road are all in action as well. Tonight's the Delano Tigers and Matamidi at 8. Let's get back to today's talker. We're bringing in WCCO's digital guy, Cole. Cole, what are people saying about Warren, Bloomberg, and their fate in the rest of this race?
Yeah, we have Becca saying, I don't think it'll matter whether or not they drop out. We have Wendy saying that they should just drop out. Other than that, we've just people kind of displeased about Biden winning in Minnesota. And then we have Michael saying that Joe should thank Amy and Pete for their endorsements. And that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the delegate count is pretty close considering how many there are, so I for sure think that it would matter at the very least because those votes are going somewhere. Warren took 10 of them yesterday.
Sure.
So,
guess we'll see.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cole. Appreciate it. That's it for now. This is the 734 from WCCO when most of the Twin Cities are on the go. So go ahead and make us your place for mobile news. We'll be back here tomorrow at 7:34. And until then, enjoy the internet.